It's just absolutely incredible. Absolutely
I know.
incredible.
I've contributed a few of his books, but I'm written about defrauding America. But yeah, I've known Rodney. That was the second book, and hell, the same thing. He writes a book, leaves the FAA. Next thing you know, whammo, they're throwing him in jail, and that's how he came across Gunther Russbacher. You know.
And he did everything he could have done in the court. I mean, he was even a high-up FAA official, and his briefs were excellent. He stated claims in his complaint. He had evidence to prove every point, and the same result. It's just
they throw him in jail for filing claims, and they take Brett's license for representing fraud against the United States government, and they use another case, which was a case involving Kansas children. And, another case, of course, David's case was another one, but they used one in particular to get his license illegally. In what was this, less than 10 days, they took your license from you, Brett?
They spent about 2.5 years just destroying everybody associated with me. It was a long, painful process. It was really just designed to destroy my life. So I get beyond it, but I'm telling you that having a license to practice law, you can see a lot of injustice there. Well, there's a lot of attorneys out there, and they're not free to go into a court and seek redress the way the Constitution and the laws of our nation say you can. So the problem, if you want to fix that problem, you got to do it with the other two branches, the administrative branch and what's been an executive branch criminal conspiracy for some time now, 2 decades at least. That's got to end. And if you can intimidate all of Congress or blackmail them, and then you give telecom immunity and more tools to blackmail them and concentrate yet more power in the hands of a criminal executive branch, there's no turning back.
Let me ask
and I might add to that, Chris, I'm aware of, because I have some evidence on this that I can't get into, but about half the United States Congress and Senate are chipped.
Uh-huh.
The other half are blackmailed and compromised and controlled. There's only about 6 or 7 congressmen and senators that aren't controlled, but the ones that aren't, they end up either killing them, they end up trying to blackmail them, they use different things, just like John Conyers. Recently, he tried to come against him. They get his wife and bring her up on charges recently, is what I understood, this sort of thing. By the way, I might add, the 911 Israeli spy ring arrested in Masse is now up on my internet site that I told you about, and that's a New Jersey thing, but we just pointed the Israeli maps up there and the whole bit, so if anybody wants to see the story, not what mainstream media is reporting, because they don't understand what they're reporting about. Because I know people that were involved in this bust on their head.
I want to ask your opinion about something. What do you think about the Senate intelligence hearings and all this stuff to investigate the CIA and all that? Do you think that's just a Band-Aid, or do you think that, it'll be something
Nancy Pelosi knew that they did 911. Half the Congress and Senate of the United States knew they were involved in 911. They knew they were being spied on prior to 911 by the Bushes the first day they walked into office, and the whole bit. They're as complicit in this treason as the rest of them. But is anything going to be done? In my opinion, it's smoke and mirrors. Look, we had a coup d'etat in the 2000 election. We had them attack America. We had them start a war in Afghanistan illegally based on 911 that they did, and for the oil pipeline to come out of the Caspian Sea Basin. It was all about oil, stupid. It was a story we put up. Then they blame Iraq and Al-Qaeda, and Iraq had nothing to do with it. That was so they could get the Iraq oil, and the Israelis want the Middle East, all the Arabs, to go down into their graves, because they're brothers and sisters, the Arabs and the Israelis. Their father was Abraham, and Sarah was the first Jew, and He had a child out of wedlock. They're half brothers and sisters. They want to kill each other. Okay, always. It's been going on forever. But we're not the surrogate government for Israel. And Israel, this espionage that's going on, all comes back to the Pollard case. And the Israelis had ties even in the death of Kennedy, tied to Permadex and the British and all that other stuff. It's been going on for years. It's just gotten out of control. And Chris, the financial side, if anybody really looks at the numbers and looks at the General Accounting Office and what 1% of the population, the Bush-Clinton-Millman Lender Crime Syndicate, what they controlled in 1981 was 20% of the economy straight across the board. They own corporations, everything. They own 20% of the corporations in America. 1% of the population. That means you, me, and Brett, and all of us, we were the 99% that controlled 80% of our own economy. Today, they're in control between 90 and 95% of all the economy of the United States. That's
and
according
consolidation,
to
consolidation and control. That's the central theme of when you scratch the surface. It's they're going to monopolize everything as they transition us to this totalitarian state that they're so in love with.
It's total control over the people. They got to have control of you, and if they can't control you, they're going to eliminate you. And we're coming down to that hour and that day, September the 1st. The flying pigs, folks, bird flu and swine flu combined, that they won't have the vaccination out till October from CDC. And then CDC, when they release it and approve it, it's going to be intentionally designed to kill anybody that takes the vaccination. So they're going to haul people off concentration camps or enemies of the state like you and other people, Chris, me, the different ones they think, and then they're going to vaccinate everybody, claim that you got it, and vaccinate you, and you're dead.
Right.
I mean, this is nothing but total evil. You can see I'm a Christian. I believe in the Bible. And I tell you what, we're not supposed to sit around and let evil triumph. We're supposed to do something about it. Look at David and Goliath. You know, God commissioned David to do his job and get rid of Goliath and another 10,000 that he got rid of. We're supposed to stand up for your belief. This is good versus evil. And they are scripting biblical end-time prophecies as we speak. They, the Illuminati, the Templar bankers, Leonard Millman, Larry Mizell, George Herbert Walker Bush, the American Templars, Henry Kissinger, Lawrence Rockefeller, Carl Linder, Bill Grace. Those are the Templar bankers in America. Then you got the European bankers like the Rothschilds, etc. And then you got Oriental bankers, etc. I don't have the whole list of the 100 of them, but these are the 100 that control 90% of the wealth of the world. It's 100 crime families that believe in Satanism, that answer to the devil, who have sold their souls to the devil, and they're lied to by Satan. And Satan has told them, oh, when you die, you'll come down to hell and be down here with me for a year, and then I'll kick you back out and reincarnate you. And they believe this crap. They're so far off the charts. And it all comes back to the skull and bones and all the other stuff people have heard about.
Maybe on another show you can bring that list and we can go over these Knights of Templar. That would be an interesting rating right there, wouldn't it?
Yeah, you know, and the ones that answer to them, if you pull up the list of the Council of 13, but if you pull up the Trilateral Commission and the Council of Foreign Relations, and you go in and look at the list of people there, they're the stooges underneath them. They're the ones controlling the corporations throughout the world. And what's amazing, Chris, there's only 100 of these crime families, and there's only 10,000 of them directly underneath them controlling the corporations. And then you got 535 congressmen and senators, and you got the little stooge in the White House and his little gang of thieves. I mean, I would say it's pretty easy. We got 300 million Americans. Why can't we just all go out there with a set of handcuffs and duct tape and take care of the problem? I don't think too many Secret Service and I don't think too many FBI agents get